Shalom, brothers and sisters. So I want to take you through these mad billionaires that go to Davos once a year to sit and discuss how they're going to change all our lives for the better. I want to discuss their key points that they brought out so that you know what went down at Davos. So number one, they discussed the cost of living crisis. A majority of WEF's community of chief economists are expecting a global recession this year as a result of geopolitical and economic tailwinds from the war in Ukraine, coupled with crippling inflation. We talked about Australia yesterday. That's just one example. Everybody is going to be involved. This is a plan. This is coming. It's not a maybe. It's a they are going to do this. Brace. Not us so much. Number two, the ongoing war in Ukraine. Obviously, the ongoing conflict remains one of the most pressing issues discussed this year, not least because of its implications for global security, peace and safety, defense policies, energy and food production. So all the things embroiled in that whole situation. The next point that was interesting is the climate crisis. A failure to mitigate climate change is ranked as one of the most severe threats in the short term, but is the global risk we are seen to be the least prepared for. WEF experts. Experts. One of the big topics around climate change this year is said to be the process of decarbonization in industries and the energy transition. Investment in and scaling up of new technologies, including sustainable fuel sources, is a particularly pronounced topic, with green hydrogen being the big buzzword for this year. Now, they're calling themselves experts, but we can prove scientifically that if we go back in history, it was much, much hotter than what it is right now. And it wasn't a crisis for the planet at all. So it makes no sense. And if you break down the word expert, I just want to share that with you. X is an unknown quantity, and spurt is a water drop under pressure. So an expert is an unknown quantity under pressure, an unknown person under pressure. Doesn't know what he's doing. He's an expert. All right, so remember that the next time they say an expert said something. The next point is the growing food crisis, very real. The loss of biodiversity, ever extreme weather, the increasing number of natural disasters and engineered have played their part in growing food shortages, also planned and places blown up and factories, and we know all the stories. In 2022, the world faced a triple threat of food, energy, and fertilizer shortages. Experts are already warning that more people will face hunger in 2023 than previous years, as food prices will continue to spike and shortages bite deeper and more livelihoods decimated. Okay. The next one, the fourth industrial revolution. Technology and innovation are always key to all discussions at Davos. This year in particular, talk is turning to what many are calling a fourth industrial revolution. Increased interconnectivity, as well as the advancements in areas such as AI and quantum computing, are bringing with them the thorny issues of governance. Historically, regulation has been slow to keep pace with the surge in technological advancements. However, with many crises now presenting themselves at once, climate, war, cybersecurity, and so on, a more globalist approach is needed to unlock the potential of innovation and help solve the greatest challenge we are facing. So because of all these things happening, these signs and these things they've manufactured and planned and that are happening outside of their control too because of where we are, all these things give them carte blanche to rush straight to what they want to do with technology and the integration into the human body, AI integrated system, iron and clay mixing together. That's what they're saying. The next one, cybersecurity storm is coming. This is a global threat and calls for a global response and enhanced and coordinated action. Jürgen Stock, Interpol. Again, bringing everyone together to deal with the problem as one and coming to a point of one leadership and one government of the beast system. Tony Blair calls for digital libraries to track vaccines. In the World Economic Forum discussion, he said, You need the data, you need to know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't been. Tony Blair has called for digital libraries that can record the vaccination status of people around the world in future pandemics. Excuse me. In a discussion containing the next major outbreak, the former Prime Minister said all countries need proper digital infrastructure to identify who has received vaccines. The talk was based on the principle that safe vaccines created within 100 days of an outbreak can protect countries from economic and societal damage brought about by lockdowns imposed during the CB pandemic. Blair said, in the end, you need the data, you need to know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't been. Some of the vaccines that will come down the line will be multiple shots, no surprise. So you've got to have it for reasons to do with healthcare more generally, but certainly for pandemics, a proper digital infrastructure, and most countries don't have that. Crazy. Next, technology and the metaverse. We haven't spoken about the metaverse in a while. This is their big plan, to keep you at home with nothing and happy. So virtual learning, entertainment in VR, virtual work settings, virtual enhanced gaming, virtual socialization, digital health resources, trading of digital assets, virtual travel and tourism, virtual everything. With the Wi-Fi, they'll provide you with Starlink, and they'll keep you exactly where they need you to be. And then lab-grown meat, bugs, and plants is their big push. And I'm not even going to get into that. We've covered that. It is crazy, especially when researchers have found that all the private jets flying to and fro Davos by the leaders made up 9,700 tons of carbon dioxide, the equivalent of 350,000 cars in a week. So who are they to talk? It's all a show, people, but interesting to keep track of what they're planning. God bless, keep looking up, and be glad we don't have to stick around for the entire movie. Shalom.